Hello, this is Bradley Thayer, CIS163 Java 1. We're in week 7. This week we're going to do a little bit of an extension on conditional statements. Instead of the if, else statement we previously did, this time we're going to be discussing a switch statement. Also this week we want to do a little bit more investigation on methods, and then obviously our homework assignment. In this video I'm specifically discussing the switch statement. I've set up a little code here in IntelliJ to get the point. We're going to take a month as a number, so 1 January all the way to 12 December, and we want to convert that number into a string. So you see here my if statement. If month equals 1, then I'm going to say month as string is January. I do this all the way down to 12. And then if we get a number that's not 1 through 12, we want to say not a valid month. So when I run this here, January, if I make it 5, May, if I make it something like 30, there's no month 30, it'll tell me it's not a valid month. This formatting here should be familiar from previous lessons, but again we have if and else if all the way down, else if, until finally we've handled every condition 1 through 12, and now we want to handle all other conditions. In that case it'll be just the else statement. I can use this same exact scenario for a switch statement. So I'm going to comment this code out here. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to uncomment my switch statement. Okay, well, what's going on here? So I'm going to come back up to month and I'm going to make it 1. The switch statement's going to say, okay, what are you passing in? What am I checking? In this case it's month. And it says, okay, in the case where month is 1, make month as string equal to January. In the case where month is 2, February. All the way till we hit 12, and now we've done 1 through 12. We need to solve the case for all the other numbers that could be put in that don't make sense, and then we have there for that a default. Now something to also notice here is this break statement. For your first pass and your first experience and exposure to a switch statement, just assume right now that this will always be there. So case, whatever action you want to take, and then a break. What it does is when you hit your case, you run your logic, and then you tell Java, okay, kick yourself out of this switch statement. And that's what happens. Okay. So there may be a time as you get more familiar with the case, the switch and the case, that you'll figure out times where the break might not be necessary. But for now, just start off assuming it's necessary just to get the hang of it. And also ask yourself why there's no break on default. Well, the reason it is because here I'm telling Java, okay, I found case 11's November. Stop the case statement. Stop the switch statement. When you're on default, it's the last possible scenario. So there's nothing to break from. And that's why it's not here. You could put it here, but functionally it does not do anything for you, because there's nothing to break from. Syntactically, it works. So that's your first, perhaps your first exposure. Maybe in some other scenario you've seen it before, but at least from my perspective, it's your first exposure to the switch statement. If you have questions on how to use it, feel free to contact me or to post in the discussion section on Canvas.